2, 1. All right, so guys, we are here for our Go Team Coach Call for the 8th of May. Spring is springing and it's freaking cold in our area still. It's sunny, which is nice, so I got to say that. Had a wonderful time for a portion of Punta Cana. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But I just wanted to welcome you all to our Coach Call tonight. I'm Coach Dan McMirovich, if you don't know me yet, and we are the Go Team, and we exist to equip and inspire busy coaches with the essentials to help bring freedom-bringing businesses that help people achieve their goals and live healthy, fulfilling lives. And really, guys, that freedom-bringing, I'm just more and more and more about that freedom-bringing. As I saw, and as I got a chance to be on our Success Club trip here down in Punta Cana this past week, got a chance to hang out with Jennifer Rose and her husband Adam, and then Stephanie Morris and her husband Jim, and a lot of rain as well. We hung out with a lot of rain. It was literally 4 out of 5 days rain, unfortunately, down. It was kind of sad, but it was nice to be in a tropical place. And there was lots of karaokeing going on, which was fun. But while I was down there, it was just the cool part, particularly as it related to the freedom building part of this, is here's Jen Rose and her husband Adam. They're married 9 years. This is the first vacation they've taken together as a couple outside of their honeymoon, which I was like, dude, if I can be about helping people get those kind of experiences, oh yeah, it was worth it for me. It was worth it for me. And it makes it all that much more. So it's so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than even just helping customers. And now for me, it's ultimately helping coaches to help other customers, to help other coaches, to help make that all happen, which is really, really great. So shout out to the new coaches. If you are on the call, we'd love to hear from you in the chat. Do you guys know how to find the chat? If you don't, if you're a newer coach, that means you're 6 months and under. You're new, official. So if you are in the chat, go ahead and type me something. Say, hey, what's up? If you're officially new, let me if I can turn on the chat here. There it is. I think you have to swipe a certain direction on a mobile device. I'm going to say, hey, here. So that's great. Good deal. But if you're newer than 6 months, I don't know if Debbie, could you figure it out yet? You know how to get to the chat? You got it? Okay. So hit me up with a hey, or a ho. All right. So that's good. There you are. Nice. Okay. Success Club. This is recognition, a little bit of recognition up front. Very exciting. Hey, Val, how are you? This was for the month of April. There's a small correction here. Stephanie got reassigned 2 points, so she's officially at 22. So I was at 26. I had to finish the month pretty strong for me. And then 22 there for Steph, which is really cool. So congrats to Stephanie as a 10 Success Club 10, which is ultimately more than 5 lives being changed. We'll talk about Success Club a little bit more as we head into the call. But we also had almost Success Club 10 people. We had all 3, Kelsey, Claire, and Brandy, all getting close to that mark there, which is pretty cool. So congrats to all of you. And we had TJ, Jen Coons, Nancy Zahner, Mariah Bell, and as well as Bonnie Yoder on the Success Club board, which is really, really great. So it's great to see more and more faces up there as we're making progress towards our goals. Now, for this month, check out who is the leader for this month. Ready? Let's hear it for Miss Claire. We're only just a short 7 days or 8 days in, and Claire's rocking it already. She's got 6. She's already in. She had 8 at the end of the month last year. She already got 6 in the first 7 days. So Claire, what does that math work out to? You should be at Success Club 40 something. Is that how it works, right? Yeah. You can do it. That's great. That's good. So Steph's at 4, I think currently. Yes, Steph. Yep. And I'm at 4 as well. And we got Kelsey, Jen, and Bonnie at 2, which is great. Again, lives, each of those 2 points, each 2 points is really a live that's being changed, guys. So it's not just about points. it's truly about lives being changed. That's why we really call this the Lives Change Club as well as Success Club. But it's really part of how you build your business, because every month as you are building those Success Club points, you are ultimately helping more people connect with our solutions, which is just really, really great. So congratulations to all you, and I hope we continue to we'll grow that board as we head more into the month. Okay, as it relates to volume, this is for the last week. We had volume is really, guys, ultimately when you hit that rank of Emerald and above, that's when you start tapping into the volume here. Okay, so we've got Stephanie, Claire, Nancy, Jen, and TJ, all our top 5 up for this one. So congratulations to you guys. We also have Tammy, Bonnie, and we've got Debbie for her first time on the board as well. Tiffany, Tara, and Sue as well. So good stuff for you guys. Congrats to all of you. So can we just hear it? One collective. I'm going to unmute everybody real fast here, because I like to do that every so often, just to give everybody a whoop, whoop. Ready? So we're going to whoop, whoop, whatever you want to do, whatever noise you want to make. 1, 2, 3, go. Whoop!
Yeah!
Yeah! The roof is on fire. Okay, I won't continue. That's good. All right. Really wanted to quickly here, I'm going to just say this particular, as we head into a little small personal development moment here, what I'm reading. I got a new book. Was recommended. I was going on a list of, or I actually asked this before I went on our Success Club trip. I asked, hey, what should I be reading? What's some good books? And a friend of mine recommended this book called Freak Factor, which is a dude from Judson College, which is where my wife graduated. This guy's name is Dave Rendell, and he wrote this really great book. And I downloaded the sample chapter, and I started looking at it. I'm like, oh yeah. So the Freak Factor, really discovering uniqueness by flaunting weakness, which is kind of cool, guys, as we understand this. And you'll see, I think if you see, are you seeing more of my posts head towards being a little bit more on the goofy side, and then flipping sometimes also into having the serious moments as well? That's kind of me, because I have a joking side, but then I also have a really serious side as well that I really want people to make progress. But if you notice, like today I was Avocado Man, right? I don't know if you saw that little post of me. I'm like, hey, I can be Avocado Man. Do I look healthy fat in this outfit? Yeah. That's the whole kind of thing. But that for me is part of my brand, and that's me. That's the Freak Factor book kind of coming out for me. And I'm pretty excited because I think this book is going to really help you guys find your unique shape as well. And I might, if you're looking for something good to read, I think it's $9.99 Kindle price or whatever. I don't even know what it is on the regular for like a paperback or a hardback, but not a ton of money. Something you may want to look at, but really ultimately capitalizing on your uniqueness, because good Lord, please don't coach like me. And you would look awkward. It would be horrible. If you tried to be me, because I'm weird and I'm truly a freak. And if you tried to pull off that, it just would feel really false probably for you. Okay. And what we're really trying you to do is to capitalize on your own uniqueness. And we'll get more into that. So I'll probably actually do a full call on just kind of helping your unique brand come out, which I think would be a really helpful call for all of us. Okay. So that's coming soon. But for now, for the chat shout out, I want to know what you are reading / listening to. So chat shout out, got music, ready, cue it. 1, 2, 3, and boom.
It's a chat shout out, it's a chat shout out, it's a chat shout out, it's a chat shout out.
Yes, had to do the theme song. So type in, please, to the chat. What are you reading currently? What are you digging? What's rocking your world? If you're still continuing on 12-week year. Made to Crave, says Stephanie Morris. Very nice. Everybody Matters from Nancy. What else we got? 12-week year, says Linda. Steph, love Made to Crave. Yes, very good book. By the way, those of you guys who love Made to Crave, I heard another book on, what's it called? Called Full? I think it's called Full. I'll look it up, but it's in a similar vein as Made to Crave as well. Her name's Turkhurst. Lisa Turkhurst is So just beginning compound effect. Very good. Wonderful stuff. Full. Yes, it is full. I got it right. Good 12-week year, says Claire. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Just starting it. Oh, Jen, proud of you. Good work. Okay, guys, if you're not reading something right now, that's okay. And if you need some suggestions, that's great. Please reach out to us. My Coach HQ, the resource section, actually has a whole list of suggestions. My CoachHQ.com has a whole list of suggestions based on subject area. So if you're struggling with confidence, you're struggling with social media, there'll be lists of books, that resources that you can take a look at. Okay, good stuff. As a quick reminder, our sneak peek is going to be on May 22nd. So for those of you who have participated in our sneak peeks in the past, some of you are for the first time on your first call tonight. So welcome to the new coaches who are doing that. That's great. Our sneak peek for everybody for now to invite folks to the coaching opportunity is going to be on the 22nd Monday, and it's at 9 p.m. rather than 8 p.m. And the only reason I do that, guys, is because I just want to make sure we're avoiding bedtime for anybody. That there's not a bedtime worries. Some people their kids go to bed earlier. They do the 7 o'clock rule, but others, it just doesn't work with them for that. So more of the 9 o'clock is going to be our thing, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, by the way. Okay. So that's going to be there. So if you want to start inviting to that, start thinking about people, I'll actually set up that event tomorrow, and then I'll post that into the Coach Club. So if you guys want to invite to that actual event, say, hey, accept towards this, you'll know there'll be some place to actually point people, and it'll have a Zoom call information and all that kind of stuff. Sound good? All right, let's talk Summit. All right, shall we talk Summit just a bit here? And then I'm going to hear from Impromptu. So I'm putting you guys on the spot, Jennifer and Steph, just so you know, prepping your brains right now. Punta Cana thoughts, 1 or 2 thoughts. Okay, put that in your brain right now. So we'd love to hear that from you guys and after we get done with this little section. Okay, so let's talk Summit, guys. So very, very excited for Summit. Summit's going to be down in what is called the Big Easy, okay, down in New Orleans this year, which is very exciting. It's going to be humid because it is summer and it's New Orleans, baby. So, but there might be I'm going to start saving now for my calories because I want a beignet. I don't need, it's like a little fried donut thing. So I want a beignet when I'm down there because when in New Orleans, if you don't eat a beignet, come on, man. The movie Chef, anybody see the movie Chef? I love the movie. So that's good stuff. But from Thursday, July 12th through Sunday, July 16th, this is where about 25,000 Beachbody coaches get together and all pour into one city. And it is the biggest bunch of crazy positivity that you could possibly imagine. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that experience with you hold on, I'm going to switch share. I'm going to do a new share. Go to this. Bam. Bam. And here. All right, you guys ready? We're going to watch a quick video. This will be about 2 minutes. Here we go. This is Summit for 2017. Hopefully you can hear it. Let me know if you can't hear it once it starts. It's going to start. Here we go.
Hey, coaches, next year we are taking Coach Summit from Music City to the Big Easy. That's right, one of the most exciting places on earth to be, the one and only New Orleans. The city known for its round-the-clock nightlife, vibrant live music scene, the best food the South has to offer, and let's not forget about Mardi Gras. And that's why it is a perfect place for Team Beachbody's annual summit. Now, Summit is 4 incredible days where you'll be able to mix and mingle with over 25,000 of your fellow coaches, get in-depth business building training from some of the top coaches in our business. You can forge relationships with the Beachbody executive team, and listen to amazing world-class motivational speakers, all of which give you the tools and the inspiration that can help you take your business to the next level. And all of that with a little New Orleans flavor. There'll be brass bands, second lines, and you can bet that all of our exclusive invite-only parties at Summit are going to reflect the energy and excitement of the Big Easy. And it doesn't stop there. You'll be able to shop for the latest in Beachbody branded apparel at our huge mega store, The Core. You can sign up for a workout or qualify for an exclusive photo op with one of your favorite super trainers. And of course, you have to be part of one of the largest super workouts in the world. Imagine yourself working out with 25,000 members of your Beachbody family. And lastly, I have to tell you, we're taking over the place. The general session, the live shows, they're all going to be in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. That's right, we're going to be where the Saints play. I can't wait. Now, the only way to experience Summit's energy and excitement is to experience it live. I often hear coaches say that Summit is where they have their aha moment, that moment when it all clicks, when the business all comes together. So join us July 13th through July 16th, 2017 for our first ever Coach Summit in one of America's most fascinating and historical cities, New Orleans. Register now at CoachSummit.com.
And there we go. Very good. Very good. All right. So the cool part about Summit, guys, is that we get a chance to get together as a whole team, or many of us from our team. And this is not at all, first of all, it's not a requirement to go. Of course, this is completely optional. If you can make it happen, it's great. It is so much fun. It is a time when I think your mind gets blown because you actually start to see some of the people that you've only seen on a screen, like in person. And you're like, no, that's like Shanti right there, or that's Otto or Tony or whoever, which is really, really fun. And it just starts to make this Beachbody thing, I think, even bigger. And my first Summit experience when I went to Vegas back 5 years ago now, had a chance to experience it was just so amazing to know all of that energy, experience all of that energy together with all of these coaches who are very, very excited. Because let's face it, guys, sometimes we can understand this. I don't know if you can get I can get an amen for this, but like as excited as sometimes you can be about this whole journey and about what Beachbody is doing for your life, the people around you are like, yeah, right? You're like, no, it's like, it's changing my life. I love how I feel. This is amazing. I get to every day and they're like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, good for you. And you're like, but when all these people get together, like 25,000 people who sort of get you, right? Because you're a little bit, freak factor, right? You're a little bit weird, which is good, but it's in a good way. It's so great to be together. And then the team time is always amazing. Just our team get together. We generally find a restaurant a couple of times during that as we have some meals together, which are amazing. Generally on that Saturday night right before the big celebration, we'll find and that'll be a fun restaurant that we'll go out together in a little bit, slightly dressier, not like super formal, but slightly dressier. This will be our first year of doing it as our own team, which is very exciting for that. Okay. Quick things about that before we move on. Hotel rooms. There are hotel rooms becoming more and more available. Okay. And just to let you know, actually I'll pop to, well, first of all, there are tickets available. So if you are wondering, are the tickets still available? Yes, there are tickets available. Okay, so tickets available for that. If you're a newer coach, you can actually earn your way to Summit by hitting Success Club 5, which means helping 3 new people each month for your first, second, and third months. You earn your free ticket to Summit, which is pretty cool. Okay. Hotel rooms, we generally pair up, quad up big time. Ladies, you are more fortunate in this than us guys because we are less in number. So you guys quad up pretty easily. Couples also will come down and things like that as well. So, and then sometimes even couples will kind of do 2 couples in a room, that kind of a deal, which helps save the cost. As far as travel, you have options. We there's air options, of course, depending on where you're located. But we are actually looking at taking a van down from the Michiana area. So, and it's about a 14-hour trip, which is it's not happy, but it's not the worst thing I've ever been. Kate and I went down, and actually Jen, I think we all went down to Disney together, the 20 whatever hour trip, which was crazy. So 14, we can do it. So anyway, and it'll save money big time. Like the whole van, I think, ends up costing about $500 versus that would be like one plane flight for one person. So very, very cool options there. And then generally hotel rooms work out to about, Claire, I'm thinking about per person when you split up these, I think it's working out to about $100 for all the day, like total for all the days.
It's about $250.
$250
I think.
per person.
Yeah, for 4 people in a room.
Yeah, so 4 people.
$250 for 3 nights. $250.
Gotcha. Yeah, depending on where you're at. I forget. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Yeah. So mine is 186 right now. Times. So it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. So it's 186 plus tax will be 600 divided by 4, about 150 is what so that's me right now. And then of course if you add a few meals into that, but just kind of pricing that out. That's good. All right. So hotel rooms, travel. If you are going to register, and if you already have your registration set, registration starts for those of you who do have tickets, it's on Wednesday, the 10th. Is when it's going to happen. If we can all schedule, it shouldn't be an issue if you get on it that first day, but Hall E, okay? Hall E would love for us to all be together versus having to, because if we split up during that thing and if you're in Hall D or Hall F, because there's 3 main halls that do this, then we won't really see each other. We won't get a chance to hang for most of the time, okay? So Hall E. There is a shuttle service, by the way, that takes you around that whole area from the Superdome to the convention area where some of the breakout stuff are. It's $15 for the entirety of the trip. Buy it. Okay, it's $15. Buy it. You're going to want it. So we'll have the ability to shuttle around between those places. So it's $15 total for that. Lunches are not provided, so you'll just need to know that. There are restaurants around that whole area, okay? They do provide lunches within. I don't recommend them because, man, if you're going down there, I don't want to get some convention center lunch. I want to eat like New Orleans lunch, right? And I think they'll like flavor it, but it's going to be like the Hyatt Regency version of New Orleans, which isn't always so authentic. Maybe. Okay, someone is go. Yep. Yep. So on Wednesday, Nancy, is when you'll select the hall. So if you've already registered, you'll select your hall on Wednesday. And then you also can select your workout because there'll be a workout with a super trainer that you can get as well. And then the super workout where we work out with everybody, you don't have to sign up for. Okay? So we're almost there, guys. Lunch is good. Tickets are available. And then what about spouses? So spouses, if they do come and they're not coaches, they can come along. That's absolutely no problem. However, they won't make it into the regular sessions, but the general sessions, I think you can buy like for our overall, like our beginning launch session, and then the final closing session. I think it's about $10. I think are the tickets for those. So if they wanted to come along, they could do that as well. Okay, but if they're coaches, they can purchase a coach ticket if they want to come to the sessions as well. Okay, and if you do, register again is coachsummit.com. Any questions, guys, real quick before I move on? Anyone? Bueller? Thank you. Good. All right, so we're going to get rolling on to the content of our call, which I'm super excited for, guys. I've been looking forward to this call as I was I'm sorry, I forgot. We didn't do Punta Cana. I want to make sure I do Punta Cana. Jen thought she was off the hook, didn't she? She did. It was good. So, Jen, since I'm looking at you, on my screen, I would love for you, Jen, to talk to us if you wouldn't mind. Tell us a little bit about your experience in Punta Cana besides the rain.
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want Stephanie to go first?
I know. Go
ahead. My experience was basically just to see how much life there is with the coaching, and just how much I feel I feel that I thrive in that environment, and just the happiness, just the energy, meeting, some new coaches along the way, seeing those that are stay at home, or full-time coaches like you, that it's not just, a few people here and there, but there's actually quite a few people doing it. And just thinking of those opportunities to be able to get myself to be able to possibly do that. So it just opens up your eyes to a lot of things, and just kind of get you thinking. And then with meeting or I didn't meet the trainers, but with working out with some of the trainers, just getting that vibe, that energy off of them. And especially Chris, for me, is going to be a huge game changer. So I'm very excited for his program. He kind of just spoke my language. So it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. It rained. We didn't get to do all the stuff we wanted, but I was looking at palm trees, and it was so much fun. So
it was great. And the steak we had at the
Toro
place.
Oh yes.
So good.
Very good.
It still makes my mouth water right now because it was that. So good. So anyway, good stuff. Steph, how about you? You had actually an extra day, and so you got a little bit more sun. How about you? Steph, you there, girl? Oh, she's trying to get her sound. Oh, I can't hear you. Poor Steph and her sound issues. Okay, well, we'll have you work. We'll work that out when you do. It's all right.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
I was on mute.
Well, that's a problem.
That was the problem. Yeah.
You're a tech wizard. Good job.
So yeah, I'm here. Yeah, the was great. It's really, you can see what a great company it was. They really just did everything.
Oh, your sound's doing that same thing it always does, which is always fun. So yeah, try not to have the mic.
Okay, how about if I put the microphone back in? Does that work?
That's good. Well, that sounds good right there.
All right. Well, I'll keep my earphones in then.
That's perfect.
Okay. All right. So basically what I was saying is just the trip was awesome. They just really, the company itself just really did just a first class job taking care of us, the presentation, the food, everything. And I mean, the truth is we were there the next night at a different hotel. And it was kind of funny because we went back to the Hard Rock Hotel and we're like, wait, where's all the food? Where's the whole layout? Where's all the fun stuff? And we just realized, it was for Beachbody. A lot of what they did was just for us, and so they made it special and welcoming just to Beachbody coaches. So everything was just really top notch and above and beyond what you would get as a normal exclusive participant. So yeah, great to meet other coaches from all over the United States. I still am actually in contact with one right now on a daily basis, and it's just kind of been kind of cool to connect. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Some of our entertainment.
Oh my word, guys! This guy was like insane, great person. Now he didn't sing, but he danced, and the dude looked like him too. Man, it was crazy, really good. So
yeah,
awesome.
Good time.
And and I think just getting a chance to know these two couples, guys, it was just so fun to be able to spend that time too around some tables, and even though I got sick, there were so many levels of not so good for Dan on the vacation, but overall and all, honestly, that was the thing that I loved the most about it, was just hanging out with you guys. That's what made up for everything for me, which is really, really great. So. Good stuff. I think Chris Downing, guys, the Shift Shop, as much as the name sounds kind of weird, that workout's going to be amazing. It really is, guys. You're going to love it. It is. Chris's heart is like as big as Texas or wherever he's from. But
and it's his motivational personality that really sucks you into him.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Huge likability factor there.
Yeah, big time. So I think that's gonna be great. All right, well, thanks, guys. Very good. We're gonna get moving on to the new coach GSR part. So that's good. Okay, so guys, so GSR, and just so you know this, and I want to give everybody that kind of understanding, that is when you do a GSR, it doesn't necessarily, so what we're going to do right now is going to be happening once a month, okay? Once a month, and we're still trying to decide on the week that it's going to happen. It'll probably be on either the first or second week of the month, depending on how the sneak peek lands in terms of time in the month prior to it. But basically, it'll be the first or second week of the month. And what we'll be doing, guys, is it won't take the place of the coach call. It'll be in addition to the coach call. So it'll probably be after, I'm thinking, probably. We're still kind of trying to work out a little bit of those logistics. But that's kind of how it's going to roll. And then that will give us a chance to, every month, you'll know that you can have a place to send your coaches, especially if you're a newer team or a newer coach and you're a little bit worried about, like, man, how do I get somebody started right? You can send them here. In addition, we still do want you to start to learn about how to run your own, okay, a little bit, so you can talk to more about your coach about their why. And we'll get into that in just a second here. But wanted to give you this, guys, real fast. So if you are a newer coach, welcome to the Go Team. And the Go Team, guys, has been founded, so we're about 2.5 years old, technically. So I've been coaching for about 5 years. And so we're about 2.5 years old. And that helps. So at that point, I broke off from my upline team, and we kind of formed this team. And I think it's the reason why, because we have a little bit of a smaller team, because honestly, my upline's team was somewhere about 1,000 coaches, and we're just about 100 total, in an active, I'd say probably about 30 to 35 or so, something like that area. But just so you know, like I think we were so overwhelmed by it being so huge that it was almost too much in some spots. And it was just fun to kind of branch and do our own thing, which has been great. Now, as we're with the Go Team, I want, and as you're starting coaching and you're considering what all this has, I'm sure you have felt this word if you're a new coach. Anybody, right? Come on. If you're being honest, you read through some of this stuff and you see what other coaches do and you go, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. This is crazy. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do it. I'm not sure if I can see myself doing that, or doing this. And that's the question you ask yourself at this point. You go, can I actually do this with my life as it is? And I would tell you probably this. Ready? No, you can't. Because what's going to happen, your life and you're going, if you consider and keep moving into this opportunity, you are going to learn skill sets. You're going to learn efficiency. You're going to learn the ability to structure your time efficiently. You're going to learn the ability to prioritize what's really important with what's maybe not as important in your schedule in order to make time for something that, if this is important to you, it'll happen, okay? But I want to tell you this. You need to have permission initially to feel overwhelmed. It's okay. So it's all that collective. Let's breathe that together. Ready? Yes, it's okay to feel overwhelmed in the beginning. Now, there'll be seasons too where you'll feel overwhelmed, even as an experienced coach. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't believe it's so much going on right now. It's crazy. And then it tends to relax a little bit more. But as you start to get to know things, and it's like with any job you do something, initially it's going to be a learning curve that's going to take a while. And you wouldn't expect, if you started a new job that is a professional job, more than, serving burgers or something, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get to know the ins and outs of it, because it takes a little bit of brains, right? So you can't expect in the first week or month or even first 3-4 months sometimes to even have a good handle on things. It really takes a good full year, okay? And I'll say that again, a full year to start to feel a little bit more settled into this whole thing. And what does that all automatically say? is that we're going to help you stick around, okay, and stick with this and understand it's not some kind of a instant get rich kind of a deal. It's going to take consistency over a longer term period in order to see the results that maybe you're looking for, okay? But initially, guys, especially if you have tendencies towards perfectionism, okay, and if anybody has those, and I sometimes have those tendencies myself, what we need to understand is that you need to understand initially, you will not know everything. You cannot know everything, and you can't know everything before you start working, for those of you who have that. Because all the scenarios, you know, a good example of that is even a doctor. They'll know a lot of the scenarios. They'll find out and they'll get educated on a lot of stuff. But until you run into it, a particular disease for a doctor, they're not going to really use that skill set until they run into it, right? They might know about it. They might have some knowledge of it. But, man, until it hits, that's when knowledge really grows. And that's just like when you're working with a customer, you got a question. That's the only way you're really going to grow initially, okay? So I would say this, guys, way too many people, that's why I mentioned back to the year thing, way too many people stop coaching way too fast. I'll say that again. Many people stop coaching way too fast because they feel like it's got to be instantaneous. They're like, oh my gosh, it's got to happen fast, fast, fast. We certainly want to get you some quick wins. We want to try to help you do that, but we really do need you to be patient and work the systems that we explain to you and help you within this new coach training, okay? And then I would say this final thing as well, and I'll move on to another slide here real quick, is the fact that fear, okay, when fear is high, if you can understand this on a graphing situation, fear is high when knowledge is down here and it's low. And as knowledge increases, you move along the timeline, fear decreases. And then look what happens. Ultimately, knowledge is way up here and fear is down here, okay? So there's an inverse relationship between knowledge and fear. So the more you know, okay, the less your fear is going to be. So initially, guys, it's normal to have a lot of fear. When you ask somebody and you don't know the answer to the question, especially if you're somebody who is known to have the answers in the past, it's going to be one of those things where you get a little bit scared, okay? But as you learn, that kind of develops over time. Now, moving on to the next quick slide here, your why. Now, as you get started in your coaching, any points here? Let's see, someone made a comment. Oh, okay, good. So the idea being is we, with your why, we have, we need to dig into that. So your why you're actually coaching, and your coach is going to have to help you with that. And if you're starting, or even if you're restarting, you may need to revisit your why. And guys, I'm just going to say this, as much as I love this answer, because I don't think there's anybody on our team that wouldn't say this. They'll say, I just love to help people, right? I just love to help people. And everybody would say that, everybody. And I don't care if you're it's like average person on the street. Generally, most people like to help people. Okay, I get it. I totally get it. But why Beachbody? And why the coaching opportunity side of this? What do you So I'm not saying you have to be selfish about this, but there has to be some kind of a payoff for you in this. Okay? And it can't just be saying, oh, so-and-so is so helpful to me. I love it. I'm just going to, anybody could do that necessarily. So why Beachbody coaching? And what does it mean for you now? So some of you, it's like, hey, I would like to help supplement my income. And that's okay. Please understand that earning money for something that is of a value, when you're offering genuine value to somebody, you should get paid. If you ask a firefighter to put out the fire in your house, right? You're paying them for value. You've given them value, or they're giving you value. We should pay them, right? Same thing. If you're genuinely helping somebody with their health and fitness, you're coaching them along. And it doesn't have to be crazy amounts, because then again, you're not making like $50 billion off of a certain individual customer, right, guys? So understand, your time is worth it. Your time is worth it. And when you set up that environment in your challenge groups, it really makes a difference. So don't be ashamed to be able to ask, to have that. So we'll help establish that why. And then that's where you start to go, okay, like if I've got a vision, so I'll show you this real quick here. I've got a vision board up on my wall. Whoop, whoop, right there. That's a vision board. It has certain things up on there. It has flexibility. Time flexibility is one of the things I absolutely love. I love time flexibility in my schedule. I love the fact that I literally tomorrow, I have a doctor appointment. There's a doctor's appointment for Sophie she needs to go to. Actually, the orthodontist, middle of the day. Lisa doesn't have to take off work. I can go. I got it. Got it covered. That means she can have more sick days if she needs it later and all that kind of stuff, which is really great when she has to get sick to go to Punta Cana, which is great. There we go. Just kidding. So telling your why, guys, though, is important. So not only knowing your why, but starting to tell your why. And I try to do this pretty frequently, and I'd like to probably start doing it a little bit more. But part of my why is when it comes to not just coaching, but why I'm even in the health and fitness journey itself is, again, like my dad's story with that. But even to tell the whole side for you guys, especially, so Jen, I'm going to call you out in this. Like, there'll be a spot here, and I know this would be a really crazy thing eventually to go, look, I would love to maybe stay home sometime with my kids. When is that public? Could that ever be public? Ooh, scary, right? And I know. You're like, oh, can I actually say that? Yeah, you could, potentially. But for me, ultimately, I want to be able to help, with my family and helping provide, obviously, for college right now. That's a big, important thing for us right now. So, having a good, strong team and anyway, good stuff. And also, guys, when you are telling your why, just understand that perfection is never interesting. So don't tell the perfect side of that. Tell the goods and the bads. Now, don't be negative, right? But you can still tell the not so goods. And if you noticed, even in the midst of my travel woes, I was like, man, this is crazy, insane. Sorry, somebody's calling. Hey, it's Mom. Mom always calls right at the wrong time, doesn't she? Yeah. Anyway, but the idea when I was going through all those troubles, guys, with my travels, I still try to keep it on the positive side. Like, okay, we're just making the best of it. Still making the best of it. That kind of a thing. But so it's okay to share some of those, that part of the journey. Now, quickly over here, we're going to head into our website in just a second. Personal development. Guys, if there were one area that I would say, and that's why I asked everybody what they were reading, if there were one area where it can either make or break your business, it's this area. And honestly, in the beginning, I did not see the value as much as I see it now. And when we lock in, because I was a reasonably confident guy, relatively had some skills that I knew, had some confidence, and I did some kind of reading, but when it came to actually like time management, vision setting, being able to have a better organization, all those kind of things, I was lacking, and it was holding me back. And then ultimately even confidence, because I have like the emotional side of it. Sometimes you have great days. Sometimes you have horrible days when people say no galore, and you got to deal with that. So if you don't have some personal development that's kind of acting as almost like a shield for you, you're going to be in trouble. And I would really recommend, and there's a couple books that I'm going to recommend to you off the bat when it comes to like just the general concept of sticking with it and being consistent. One's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. The other one's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Okay. And Darren Hardy, I believe, is going to be a speaker at Summit this year, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think he is going to be a speaker at Summit. So knowing his book called The Compound Effect, we got Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, both sort of similar messages, but delivered in a little bit different way. Just fantastic, guys. Both are really, really good about consistency and the difference that those daily habits really can make over a long term, keeping you in the game, which is good stuff. I'm actually going to probably re-listen to The Slight Edge. It's been a while, so I'm going to probably head back into that. Okay, some recommendations there. Staying connected, guys, within our team. So our team calls, which is this normal time slot right here. The Coach Club itself, which is our Facebook page that we have, Facebook group. And then, of course, message strands that we have. So we've got a rookies message strand. Then we also have an established coaches message strand. Some of you are part of both. Some of you are only part of one, and that's fine. My sense is sometimes I like to insulate our newer coaches a little bit from the big strand because it can get a little overwhelming, number one. And it also, if you have all of a competitive nature, when we start to call out successes, and that's what we really like to do, is we want to do that. We're not bragging, but we're just celebrating. It can get a little frustrating. You're like, man, I can't believe all these people are selling all this. They're making all these challenge pack sales, and I haven't even contacted one person yet. You know, and you get frustrated, and we don't want that to be the case. Okay, so that's the way we stay connected. Now, goals real fast here. Helping 3 people in your first month. 3 people in your first month is a great goal, and a really, I think, just a reasonable goal to set if you want to start to really to build beyond just, of course, a discount or like a really beginning basic hobbyist, what we would call. But if you're like, you were interested in like, oh, I'd like to really help a few people, a good goal would be to help about 3 people in your first month. Or, and it depends on when that starts. It could be over 2 months or 3 months, even if you need to stretch it that long, if you're a little bit slower in the start, in the beginning, as you're trying to develop those connections. So don't feel bad if you haven't done that in your first month. I just want to say that real quickly. So you're not like, feel like you're a failure off the bat. But just kind of setting that pace for you guys, for us, I think it's really, really good. And one of the easiest ways to do that, guys, initially, which can be a little bit scary, is to talk to some of your closest friends and some of your family to help you get started. And there's an easy ask in this. And really what you'd say is like, you know, hey, I'm starting this new business, and I really would appreciate your support. And I would love for your take on this, okay? And it'd just be a matter of, you know, we can just try it for a month. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'm not trying to get your money out of this, but what I really am trying to do is get some good success stories. Get some good success stories in my first month, so I can have some credibility. And if you can help me by sticking with it for even just a month, that would be amazingly helpful to me. If you think you could do that, and then that's a decent ask to ask, and then it potentially can get you your first three people off the bat, and then that starts to build. And as you kind of build what would be a challenge group, okay, which we'll talk about in a second, okay? And of course, you're not just taking money from them. You're not just like, hey, you're actually providing them something that can really genuinely help them. Good stuff. And initially, you're going to want to really join your sponsors group first, right? So you don't you don't have to think, oh my gosh, do I have to start my own group right away? I was weird. I was the freak guy. I started my own group my first month because I said, if I don't do this, I'm never going to do it. I said, little birdie, you got to fly, you got to launch. And I just did it. And I just worked and I worked and I worked and I worked and I asked and I asked and I asked. And I actually did 2 groups initially, which is crazy because I was an overachiever. And so I started 2 groups that first month. It's the second month technically as I did it. Okay. But that's just my story, and that's what I did. And every month since, I've run a challenge group every month since 5 years straight. So, you know, I'm just saying this is not something that it doesn't take rocket science to do, because I wasn't, you know, again, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I know a few things after some experience, but I'm just saying that consistency is ultimately what people then trust. Hey, he's got another group coming up, which is great. Okay. I would really encourage you guys also to consider a contact list. If you're not working from a list, you're working from your Facebook message strand. Anybody guilty of this at all? Yes, I know. Like, wait, let me just scan down through. Bling, bling, bling. Like, who didn't get check? Oh, hey, I forgot about her. Yeah, I should probably connect. If you can have a list with a date, now you can do it either way. There's a couple ways on that. You can do electronic world, where you've maybe got a Google Doc. I use a system called Close. It's a pay system. It's about $17 a month. You don't need to use that. cloze.com if you want to check onto it. That's great. I love it. That helps me stay on track because it gives me some reminders. But you don't need to do that. It can be a Google Doc. It can be an Excel spreadsheet, just with name, interest, what they're interested in, date to contact or follow up. Boom. And then you can sort by that date as well. Did you guys know that on those spreadsheets? So you can sort by your date as well as the name. So you can have your names all alphabetized if you want, but then you can also sort by the date. Oh, okay, this is the date. As long as you enter the date at the same time, which is date to follow up, then you'll know when you were supposed to follow up with those people and then keep them by order. Okay, that's good. So having that, or just plain old pen and paper, you can still do that. Of course, you can't sort as well, but that definitely gives you an option to do that. So you don't need to have a ton of crazy tech savviness. Okay. Success Club. Just real fast here, guys, so you understand this. For Success Club, everybody understands, and this is going to be part of our coach training. We'll share that here. Where is that? Oh, it's coming down here in 2 seconds. Success Club. Effectively, we have what's called Success Club 5, and we have Success Club 10. Success Club 5 is now it's, and I've said this before, probably you've heard me, but it's technically should be probably Success Club 6 because you can't earn Success Club 5 anymore. We used to be able to earn 1 point for Shakeology alone. That doesn't happen anymore. It's only, so Shakeology, even when you are just Shakeology, just Shakeology, you get on auto ship, by the way, all of this is on auto ship, which is our monthly auto shipment. You get 2 Success Club points for a Shakeology auto ship or any paired program. So it can be Beachbody On Demand with Shakeology, which is a challenge pack, right? Or 21 Day Fix and Shakeology, or however it works. And those are challenge packs. And you get 2 Success Club points for each of those. So to get to 5, technically you have to get to 6 because you have to get 3 of them, right? So you get to 6. And that, as you earn, and we get you up to the Emerald rank, okay, and we'll talk about Emerald in just a second, you can get what are called referral customers sent to you, okay? So referral customers that come from Beachbody, you don't even have to seek out. You can get referral customers, and then they become your customers after that point. Now, when you hit Success Club 10, which is 5 customers per month, in a given month, 5 HD customers, you then get what's called a paid referral. So not only do you get the person to be your customer for the future, but you get that actual, so if they buy a bag of Shakeology, you get the commission of that Shakeology, which is pretty cool, okay? Is that for new orders or reorders? If my customer keeps ordering Shakeology, I should prevent? Nope, it is not. So Success Club that's a good question. So Success Club is only for new orders. And so for any customer, you can only in their lifetime with that given email get 2 Success Club points, okay, with that email. Now, just as a little around it on occasion, and I've done this on occasion, because sometimes it's easier if someone is like ready to sign up or whatever, and it's been a while, or maybe they had another coach. This is another thing, is you can sign them up with a different email, and it actually does count. And I'm not trying to cheat the system, but that occasionally has happened. Okay, good. Now, so that's that. Any questions about Success Club? That's sort of how that works, and that's a good goal to basically try to be hitting each month. Success Club is a kind of a gauge for the success of your business. That means new people are coming into your pipeline every month, which is what has to happen in order for you to build a business. You can't maintain on the people you signed up a year ago. Like you signed up 4 people and you expect them to maintain for years. It's not going to happen. You always need to be getting new blood into your funnel. Okay, that's good stuff. Now, getting to Emerald real fast here. Emerald is effectively signing up 2 coaches, one on your left leg and one on your right leg. I'm not going to confuse you by this much. Basically, you have a left leg and you have a right leg. And when you sign up a coach, they are placed either on your left or your right. And I'm not going to get into placement right now because that gets way too confusing. That's beyond our basic scope. But basically, when you do get one on each side, you become an Emerald. And that is making you effectively a business beyond retail sales. This is where residual income starts to come into play with what we call team cycle bonuses. Not going to explain that to you now. We can always Google that or look on YouTube later. But team cycle bonuses is how you produce income that is, for all the people, honestly, who are doing this full time, it's the only way they can make it work. Because you can't sell enough challenge packs to keep a retail sales only income. It can't happen. You have to build a team around you that are also producing volume. Okay, that's kind of how it works. All right. Last thing here. Oh my gosh, we are so running on time. New coach accountability. groups. So guys, you have free options, you have paid options. We do have some scripts that we can have as your inviting process, and we'll look at that within our Coach Rock the Basics here real quick. So your free options, of course, you can do anything. You can do a clean eating challenge. You can do a like an abs challenge. You can do a push-up challenge. You can do a plank challenge. All different kinds of challenges. You can do a water challenge. Lots of different things. Sugar detox, depending on what your market is going to potentially be excited about. And really, guys, just to give you the fast on that, is that free challenges, the main purpose of free challenges is to help develop relationships. It is not to get sales. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you have done free challenges in the past and you go, oh, they're not very successful. If you've developed relationships in there, they're successful. It may take 2 to 3 to 4 sometimes. I've had people recently. I just had a gal who signed on this last one. She said, I signed up with the Croctober, my Croctober free group. And you know Croctober is October. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. And she's been riding on a few. I don't think she was in every single one of those, but she was in a lot of them. So guys, that was like at least 4 times she went through free challenges before she felt like she could really trust that she could do it. That was her belief issue. It wasn't that she didn't trust me or our system. She didn't trust herself. And that took some time, guys. So that takes time to develop. So develop that relationship and trust, and it really, really matters, okay? Paid stuff, of course, you're going to make sure you connect with your coach, and it's probably do your initial ones with your coach and be posting in the groups as you do that. Now, we're going to do a quick tour. Fast, guys. I know you have no time. So let me do this real fast. Okay, stop share. And thank you for your patience, guys, tonight. Where are we? Sorry. Good stuff. Okay, everybody see that? Here we go. My coach /RTB start. So that says Rock the Basics start. So before we begin, there's the first 30 guide, which hopefully you've all checked out, had a chance to download, okay? A video from corporate. Let's get started. Okay. Well, welcome to the Go team. This is kind of our system. We talk about live events, including Summit, on the day 1. I like to do this, guys, because Stephen gave me this idea about with Quick Start My Challenge, which is the same kind of a thing. Just do a real quick tour here. Fit4. This Fit4 tracker is a great way to be tracking your, and you can download it, download the guide, and then this is going to give you chances to adding new people onto your network, forming relationships with them, and this is all explained on this site, inviting people eventually to challenges, whether that's free or paid, and then you follow up with them, okay? And this tracker guide is a great tool that you can use to make sure you're staying on track. And there's Steph, she's smiling. Yay, there she is. Adding new people on social media. And then so each of those things are explained right here, okay? Move on. Taking your day 2, there we go. Hold on. This one, we're going to be adjusting because we've got there's a scripting issue here with, as it relates to Beachbody On Demand, which is now going to be like the thing we want to definitely be doing more because it's such a great value. So to even talk about the 21-day fix is weird because obviously our Beachbody On Demand is such a crazy deal. But so we'll be adjusting that script just a bit. There's a video talking it through, and you can download the script to your phone or computer. I highly suggest having that available using maybe like Evernote, OneNote, your notes program, however you want to use it, whatever makes most sense to you. You can put it in a Google Doc or even a Word document if you need to, but as long as you have access to that to be able to do the script process. And guys, this is the huge thing. Most people who have problems when it comes to price objections, or they're worried about people like, they just don't understand it, it's because they haven't followed the scripting process. And I'm saying the scripting is not meant to make you sound robotic, but it is to provide you a good structure for helping people along to make the decision, okay, to help them. So I really suggest, if you haven't watched this video yet, that you watch this video on this page, okay? Steph, real quick, can you talk through social media? I'm sorry, I know we was going to have you talk more, but here we go. Okay, bring on day 3. There we go. You on there, girl?
Yeah, I'm on.
Great. So social media 101s. Steph helped design this. Go for it. Anything to talk about?
Social media 101. It's just basically the ins and outs of posting on social media, your do's and your don'ts, some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're first attempting to post on social media. So it really goes over the basics, and it's not a very long video, but worth checking out before you start diving into the whole Beachbody posting world.
Yeah. Yep. That's good. And I think, having, personally found this video. Yep. And guys, I'm telling you, when you start sharing about yourself, being ultimately helping people, like pointing people to the fact that you have a group started. Like, I think today is a good example. I don't know if you guys saw my thing. I posted belief. I had a little thing that said belief as my deal. And I just was sharing the fact that we're starting with our group. This is what we're doing. I didn't invite everybody. Hey, our next group starting here. I said, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. And people start to pick up on that. It's like, oh, wait, what is this thing he's doing? Oh, okay. And especially if you're newer, it's a really easy way to say it. Hey, our group started today. Our online accountability group started today, and this is what I ate. You don't have to say, hey, join me. It's cost this much money or anything. Great. That's good.
Right. A big part of posting is just every time you create any type of post, think to yourself, is it interesting? Does it add value? Are people going to want to read what you're posting? Is it something outstanding that they're going to stop their scroll and take a look at it? And then the other thing worth mentioning too, and I haven't read it yet, but there is a good book out there called Jab, 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 Hook that talks pretty much about that concept of adding value, and then asking to invite to a group.
Yep.
So you're not constantly asking.
Yep. And that's the thing, guys. If you've ever noticed a lot of other network marketing companies, they're mostly asking a lot of times. And this is nothing against some of them. That's all I see from them. Say, I've got the sale for this, and that ends up comes off as spammy and salesy, which is not good.
Mm-hmm.
So this social media time map as well, it's called jab, 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 left hook. Right hook, left hook, left hook. I think. Jab,
Some kind of hook.
Yeah. If you look up jab, 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 it'll come up immediately.
Yeah.
It's a very popular book. And I've read part of it. It's really good. Social media time map. This is in general. This is not. And so if you want to take a peek at that, generally, this is where and you can post, and this says post but not fitness. You can do fitness within those times. Just be careful that you don't come off as super salesy in those times. Like your asks. You don't want to ask people to commit. And I don't know if you guys also, even follow-ups on Fridays and Saturdays are really tough. People are just doing different. They're doing life. They're with their kids, whatever. And you start following up about it, and you'll get crickets. Sunday night, though, totally different story. People might start to get ready to get in the game. Okay? There's that.
That's really important, too. If you have something really important to say, better check out that calendar before you pick a time.
Tell you what, and Randy would say this, too, and that she's – and again, it doesn't always follow the rule. And sometimes a rule can be broken, and the rules are made to be broken. But what I would say is just know that you are doing that. That's the better, you know what I mean? So it's a willful break of the rule versus, I guess I'm just going to do it when it's like, I know that this probably isn't red time, but I really feel like I'm going to do this because X, or whatever reason. Okay. Day 4, we're going to hit this real fast. And day 4, okay. This is where I explain more on Success Club. So if you have concerns about Success Club, this is where it's at, okay? And then this is also where, so if you've ever concerned about signing up a customer or coach using Coach Mobile, bam, this is where it's at. And if you're a coach who has coaches, send them here. You don't have to go, oh, I'll explain it to you. No, send them here. Very easy. Okay, watch this video. Super easy, okay? And then one more day, here we go. And we'll be done here. Thanks for hanging on here, guys. First challenge, talk about your sales funnel a little bit, your first free challenge, your first premium challenge. There's a free challenge guide, and we also have a premium challenge process, okay? And what we are developing, guys, just so you know, I'm so mad at myself that I don't have these set. The challenge guides are actually this My Challenge Tracker portal, and in this Coach Mobile office, online office, there's resources for inviting, and there's also resources for running your own challenge within the Coach online office. You can have those. There's tons of resources there. We also have some resources that I've been using over the years that I need to just compile and say, this is 21 days worth of posts if you want to use some of those ideas, okay? And we'll make those available soon here. Yep, right hook. Thank you, Debbie. Good. All right, so that's pretty much that. And let me finish this call up with stopping a share and going back to another share. Here we are, back to basics. So guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I really do. If you're looking for more training and you're confused about stuff, I would tell you this, guys, so much with YouTube is available. You can literally search anything, like struggling Beachbody, inviting. If you have trouble inviting, Beachbody inviting, boom, YouTube. You will see top coaches post about it. Look for hits that are more than 300, right? If there's 300 watches on it, look for over a couple thousand. That's probably a more credible person, okay? Back office, online office, you can find training as well. And of course, mycoachhq.com has additional training beyond the Rock the Basics, okay? And any questions, guys, before we call it a night? So thank you, I appreciate it because we went a little bit over tonight. It's okay if you don't because it's long. Okay, so our call is going to be next Monday. I'm very excited. I think we've got a special guest. Oh, you're going to love her. I hope it works out. So speaking of a person from Punta Cana, we made a connection there, and I will probably have this person join us on the call, which would be great. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening and connect with your coach for further steps, okay? Thanks.